That the future of cars is electric is no longer in any real doubt. The Paris Climate Agreement in 2015 agreed that if global warming is to be limited to 2 degrees or less, 20% of cars will need to be running on electricity by 2030. But if that percentage is to be reached, the take-up of electric cars by drivers is really going to have to accelerate. As things stand, it's estimated that there are around 1.4 billion cars on the roads worldwide. Just over 10 million of them, fewer than 1%, currently run on electricity. The numbers of electric cars already on the roads varies hugely from country to country. Just 0.65% of the USA's 273 million cars are electric, for example, and less than 2% of new cars bought there in 2020 were powered by electricity. Compare that to Norway, where 16% of all cars on its roads are already electric, and its pole position is only set to increase. Last year, almost 3/4 of all new cars sold were electric. So what is Norway doing right and pulling so far ahead in the war against the combustion engine? Well, largely, it all comes down to money. The Norwegian government has been spending about $1 billion a year in waiving import duties and sales taxes on electric vehicles. Owners don't have to pay road tolls and get free use of ferries and bus lanes in congested city centres. The fact that much of Norway's electricity is generated relatively cheaply through hydropower has also made owning an electric vehicle more economically attractive. But many of these incentives are set to end this year, replaced simply by higher taxes on petrol and diesel vehicles. So whether Norway can meet its target of all vehicles being zero emissions by 2025 is still a big question. But the bigger question worldwide is just how truly green electric cars really are, with major concerns over the carbon footprint of making their batteries. And of course, charging cars is all well and good if that electricity comes from a renewable source, far less so from a coal-fired power station. And then, of course, there's the issue of infrastructure. The cost to governments of setting up charging points will run into billions, and while in the developed cities and towns of the future you may never be too far from a place to charge your car's battery, in many developing nations, especially those where the population is widely spread, meeting the Paris target by 2030 looks, well, next to impossible.